The super efficient Jiko Core requires half the charcoal of other Jikos, so you use less fuel and receive immediate savings. Enjoy our special offer now and save 1,000 Kenya shillings with every purchase. Jiko Core, Kenya's #1 saving Jiko.
Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood. Never understood. Life can be this good.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon, welcome to a 1 o'clock news update. I'm Mark Masai, and there was a bit of traffic. Heck, I decided to do it from home. Wherever you're joining us from, welcome to our news update. And being a weekend, politicians are up and about, and we will start with the whereabouts of the opposition leader Raila Odinga. Doreen Magak is on that beat. He is said to be in Bomet, joining the family of one of his friends who's celebrating the graduation of their child. But you can imagine, given what has been happening on the political scene, a lot will be said. Doreen, over to you. Has he arrived?
Good afternoon, Mark Masai. We are here in Bomet County, and we are in Thanksgiving for NAT Secretary ODM nominated MP William Sosion daughter Rosemary Kipkorir, who is recently admitted to the bar at Motigo Village in Bomet County. And we are here live, and we have ODM Raila Amolo Odinga. We have so many dignitaries, MPs from various places. We are here joined by the MP, Jonah Ngeno, to hear more about from him. Yes, thank you, welcome.
Asante.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Today is a very important day for the daughter of Wilson Sosion, for the academic performance as a lawyer, being admitted to the bar. I've come here as a colleague, as a learned friend, because I also studied law. I'm a lawyer by profession. So I came here also to support her and give her that moral support, and also encourage her on her undertakings, in the future undertakings. I also came here as a friend of Sosion because he invited me to come and join other friends who are here with us. So I'm very happy I'm here, and we wish to congratulate her for being admitted to the bar.
Thank you. We've seen so many MPs here. What do you anticipate here to discuss more?
Obviously, you must have seen several MPs from all walks of life and all political divide. You've seen ODM members, you've seen Jubilee, you've seen many other members. You've seen also the members of Sosion's position as a KNUT secretary. You've seen his colleagues. What I'm anticipating here, actually, apart from congratulating the daughter and so many other things, I'm anticipating also a talk, especially you've seen several people with some tags here. We support BBI and all that. So I think many people here will be discussing issues to do with BBI, issues to do with the Republic of Kenya. Well, and we are just expecting all those manner of talks and politics. Okay. Yep.
Thank you very much, MP. Back to you, Mark Masai. You've heard from the MP. We will hear more and get more from you. Thank you.
Doreen Maga, thank you there from Bomet. A lot to expect given what's happening on the political scene. Now to more action on the political scene. By-elections of Msambweni constituency will be held on the 15th of December this year. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has also announced that the same date will host by-elections for member of county assembly position for Kahawa Wendani Ward in Kiambu County, Kisumu North Ward in Kisumu County, Dabaso Ward in Kilifi, Wendani Ward in Taita Taveta County, and Lakeview Ward in Nakuru County. All candidates intending to vie in the by-elections are required to adhere to the Ministry of Health protocols on containment of COVID-19. During their political engagements, the Msambweni constituency seat fell vacant earlier March this year following the death of the then MP, Suleiman Dori. Police in Garissa are investigating an incident where 12 Somali nationals were found without valid identification documents, and they were being ferried by a county government land cruiser using either a fake number plate or stolen GK vehicle. The aliens were arrested at the Garissa Tana Bridge when officers manning a barrier demanded the work ticket of the vehicle, only to discover that its number was different from that on the work ticket. The vehicle had the government registration plate GKB 390C, yet its genuine registration number is KCT 620Z. It is registered to Garissa County's Ministry of Urban Development. The suspects will be arraigned in court once investigations are concluded.
An employee of the county government of Garissa. There were 12 aliens who are being ferried to Nairobi. So we are yet to get the information where the number plate came from. The investigation is ongoing. A multi-agency team has been formed to look into the matter, and the vehicle has been detained at the police station.
Three suspects still detained over the Westgate terror attack will have to wait until October the 5th when the court will deliver its judgment over the involvement of terror activities. The Nairobi Chief Magistrate Francis Andai told the accused, who include Ahmed Abdi, Hassan Hussein and Liben Omar, that he is still going through the submissions from the prosecution and defense to enable him come up with the judgment. The accused, however, through their lawyers, told the trial magistrate that they have continued to suffer in detention that has insufficient beddings, shortage of food and inadequate medication. The lead prosecutor, Edwin Okello, however, told the magistrate that issues raised by the accused can be addressed by the prison authorities.
Right, a second, Mr. Okello. Yes?
Residents of Mudhurwa Estate are living in fear of being forcefully moved or evicted from their premises after the lapse of the eviction notice, where the Kenya Railways Staff Retirement Benefits scheme notified them to leave. Vincent Odor is at the scene, and you can imagine their apprehension. What are they saying? Has a demolition already started?
Mark, absolutely. You know, these residents who've been living here at Muthurwa Estate were given notice and they were required to vacate the premises here by yesterday 5 p.m. And therefore today, while I was walking towards here, I've seen some of the residents leaving. Some of them are vacating the premises, but some insist that they have nowhere to go to, and therefore they will insist being here. You know, this is something that comes way back from 2015 when an eviction notice was delivered through a court ruling whereby the court ruled that the people who have been living here at Muthurwa Estate have been illegally occupying these premises and required them to leave because according to Kenya Railways staff benefits retirement benefit scheme, it says that this land where this estate is belongs to them and they have no any tenancy agreement with the residents and therefore they want them to leave. And they are saying that they won't be responsible to any damage that will occur for those who will refuse to leave this estate today moving forward. And I just want to talk to some of them here. Chairman, wapi chairman? Chairman, hebu tuambie mlifaa nyinyi kuondoka hapa hivi mwaka 2016 na hadi wa leo bado mko hapa. Kwa nini na kuaje bado mpo?
Ile shida ijataka kutaka kuelezea ile vile iko. Hii mali ni ya pensioners ikikuwa mmoja wao, na wakati skimu ilitaka kuenda kuingilia pale maaba ikakuwa na ukora mingi, na saa hii ile maneno inakuwa inaenda kuongeleshwa hapa. Ningetaka kuambia katika watu wa Kenya, watu wa serikali, tuna mambo vile yanaendelea katika skimu yetu. Tukakuwa na mambo mingi ya kudhulumiwa. Saa hii kabla bado kuendelea, tunasiyo mgeni hajamaliza wiki moja anaitwa Marenge, na vile alikuja pale hatujui ni kitu gani anakuja kuendelea na kuendesha mambo hivyo, kwa sababu sionelio sio mgeni hajamaliza mwaka mmoja, ni kama mtoto alizaliwa jana akuja hata kusema mambo vile ilivyo.
Sasa mtaondoka ama sasa mtachukua hatua gani kuanzia leo?
Kuondoka kuja jaribu kwenda makotini, sababu imare tulipewa na serikali kama inataka kuchukua Muthurwa isirudishie mali yetu, sababu sisi ndiko tukifanya kazi na kudhulumu na kutupatia mali ili aje kujibu hizi.
Hebu Maminjo tuongee nawe pia. Njoo tuambie inakuaje utahama, inakuaje usiogope bwana. Simama hapa hivi. Wewe unachukuliaje hii hali ambapo mnahitajika kuhama, mlihitajika kuondoka jana na bado leo mko hapa? Unaonaje hii maneno?
Mimi kwa hii maneno mimi naomba serikali tusaidie. Baba ako wapi? Baba azungumze. Mimi ni maskini, sina mahali pa kuenda, niko na watoto, tulipa rendi jana. Hatuna kazi, baba utusikie baba penye huko. Na kwa hiyo hii harakati ya corona tutaenda wapi?
Hebu nikuulize, mko kwa hizi nyumba kwa njia halali ama ni kweli kwamba mfai kuishi huku mnafaa kuondoka?
Tuko kwa njia ya halali. Kwa sababu wazazi wetu hawakulipwa pesa ya railways. Tumezaliwa huku, tumelelewa huku, tutaenda wapi? Tuko na watoto huku, tumesomea huku. Serikali inasema tuame, tutaenda wapi? Hatuna kazi, hatuna chakula, hatuna makao. Serikali tusaidie, ugonjwa ndio hiyo. Corona ndio hiyo.
Ile kitu iko. Enyewe tunaomba serikali iweze kuangalia masikini sana. Kwa sababu siku tatu hapa nyuma si ati president ajui mambo, amekuwa hapa na sisi kama maskini tunaishi kwa hizi manyumba, tumezaliwa hapa, tumelelewa hapa, tumekuwa wakubwa hapa. Mababu zetu walikuwa wanafanya kazi na railway. Hizi manyumba ilikuwa watu wanafanya kwa railway, wanaishi kwa hizi nyumba. Sasa wakati mababu zetu wengine waliritaya, sisi wenyewe tumeshikilia hapa. Sasa hakuna haja kuja kuhamisha sisi na hakuna mali pengine tunaweza enda. Soko ndio hii tulibomolewa, mali tunafanyia kazi. Tutafanya kazi wapi sisi kama maskini? Kama wanataka kutuhamisha hapa, watupatie mahali pa kuenda na chakula ya kutosha. Hatuwezi kumbwa na vitu mbili hii Kenya, corona na kuhamisha maskini.
Sikia pia mtu mdogo hapa, njoo pia vijana, nasemaje, wewe unaonaje hii hali? Wewe utahama ama vipi?
Hii maneno. Sasa mtu kama mimi niko na mtoto mdogo, sina kazi, sina pesa, nitaenda wapi? Hakuna mahali penye tunaenda, si tuko hapa. Kama ni kukufa tutakufia hapa.
Sawa. Safi. Okay, those are just among the residents here at Muthurwa Estate, and have you heard the word they are not going anywhere. That is it for now. I'm taking you back to studio.
Vincent Odor, thank you for that update from Muthurwa Estate. We'll get an update on that. They seem determined, at least the Kenya Railways retirement scheme seem very determined to have them move, but they say they will stay put. Let's head to Nyandarua County, where they have started a cash transfer project that seeks to support patients battling cancer. The county gives a 2,000 shilling stipend to aid families in the support of their loved ones in the rigorous treatment journey. County officials have asked residents of the county who are fighting cancer to register for the same, and those, of course, in hospital for them to benefit from this kitty.
Rachel Wangoi is battling rectal cancer. Her face tells of the pain that she has been going through. She tells us that the treatment of the disease has been draining, not just financially, but also emotionally. Recently, she got listed as one of the beneficiaries for the home-based care after they could no longer seek specialized treatment away from home. Now she gets a healthcare worker advising her on her nutrition while monitoring the progress of the interventions being done to cure her.
My healthcare provider told my children to try and improve my diet so that my body can have the strength to fight the disease.
Rachel, however, tells us that her children are not well-to-do, and so she makes do with the little they can get. That was until Nyandarua County introduced a cash transfer program that now gives them money every month to aid them in their fight.
Hii ugonjwa ni ugonjwa ngumu kwa sababu tangu alipogojeka tumejaribu, tunashika vitu zote, tumeuza.
Na wamekuwa wakikutana, wakiweza kusaidiana, kukua pamoja, na wanafundishwa mambo mbalimbali, wanaambiwa juu ya madawa, wanapewa counseling.
Na pia tunashirikiana na NHIF na Kenyatta University Teaching and Training Hospital kuset Cancer Center.
The county is yet to get a cancer center, and so the treatment cost and the cost of travel to the city remain a challenge. The county is asking those affected to report to the JM Karaoke Memorial Hospital to be considered as beneficiaries of the program that will not only help them fight the disease, but also improve their nutrition and quality of life. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
Let's head to the North Rift, and peace activists from the North Rift region have called for the delinking of Building Bridges initiative from the constitutional amendment process in order to restore calm and avoid polarizing the country. Some political leaders from the region have also called on their counterparts to be at the forefront in championing for peace. Gabriel Kudaka has that report.
Peace activists from the Rural Women Peace Link converged at the Reformed Church of East Africa in Eldoret to review the gains made in peace initiatives for the last 1 year ahead of the International Peace Day celebrations. The recent inflammatory remarks by politicians was top on the agenda.
We urge the political leaders to tone down the political rhetorics and calm down the rising political temperatures across the country.
They said BBI process should not be weaponized for political gain.
The amendments that have been done in the past, constitutional amendments that have been done in the past, policy amendments, some of them have been done because the people in power have always thought that that's what they need to do in order also to punish the so-called rivals.
The activists called for the separation of BBI initiative from the constitutional amendment process.
Let BBI run their agenda, and we appreciate they are looking at a way of how can we unite Kenyans. That's an agenda which they need to carry to the conclusion. And then we start the process of just looking at the constitution.
This country has suffered a lot of disunity, and if you create a constitution that people will be saying it was me and so, then it is easier to be the constitution of the Republic of Kenya.
And during commemoration for peace at Lomut Primary School in Sigor, West Pokot County, Governor John Lonyangapuo called on leaders to be peace champions.
Kati ya Pokot na Marakwet East kumekuwa na moto ya ajabu. Mpaka tukasign wenyewe 2 years ago na signature nikisema ng'ombe ya Marakwet ikiibwa, mtu ya Marakwet ikiwawa, mimi niwe responsible kama governor.
The theme for this year's World Peace Day that will be marked on Monday is Shaping Peace Together. Gabriel Kudaka, NTV.
Let's now head to Nyeri County, where tea farmers there have expressed support for the new tea reforms being implemented by the government through the Ministry of Agriculture. The farmers have said that the new reforms could mean an end to their long suffering. Rose Mathuku has that report.
Over the years, tea farmers in different parts of the country have suffered low returns in the tea sector. The farmers have attributed their plight to unfair regulations in the industry.
Vile KTDA inaweka pesa mwaka moja na nusu, hawa wakulima walipeleka kapesi kwa bank, wakapeleka green feather, wakapeleka wananchi, pesa yao ikashikwa. Bonus ikikuja, wanalipa deni, wanapatiwa deni ingine. Mkulima akakuwa slave.
The farmers are now hoping the implementation of new tea reforms by the government will bring them reprieve. KTDA officials have criticized the new regulations, saying they are meant to bring an end to the tea industry.
Pia tumesema chai ya Kenya ni muhimu sana kwa soko ya dunia. Yule anakuambia ati tukipeleka yote kwa auction haitapata mtu wa kununua, ni uongo. Tumeongea na wataalamu wote na wanatueleza vizuri sana. The demand of the Kenyan tea is very high in the world market. It is used to blend other cheaper teas. Hakuna wakati itakosa watu wa kununua. Kwa hivyo tunasema majani chai yote iende kwa soko. Ile ya kununua under the table hiyo ikome.
The tea industry remains one of the key pillars in Kenya's socio-economic agenda, supporting over 6.5 million people who are engaged directly or indirectly in the value chain. Nyeri County alone produces about 20 million kilograms of made tea that accounts for about 3% of national production. Rose Mathuku, NTV, in Nyeri County.
The death of a 22-year-old cyclist who was hit and killed by a bus along the Thika Superhighway has triggered outrage amongst the cyclist community. The cyclist is identified as Caleb Omoyo, and the group of cyclists say that there is lack of care among other road users, which has led to them being in imminent danger as they go along the roads. They are asking for more awareness and respect from other road users. Hundreds of cyclists took to the roads earlier today in honor of the late Caleb, where they began their cycling from the Jibanji Gardens to Thika Road, where Caleb died. Nairobi Women's representative Esther Pasaris, who attended the event, says the government is working on a legislative framework that will keep cyclists safe, hopefully. May Caleb rest in peace, and please be mindful of other road users. At this point, take a quick break. On NTV at ONE, we continue with sports and more after that.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Mbolea za Mavuno Fertilizers zimetengenezwa mahususi kusaidia udongo na mimea. Zimetengenezwa kwa taaluma ya hali ya juu ya kisayansi. Zaidi ya wakulima 500,000 nchini wanaweza kupata mbolea hizi kwa bei nafuu. Zinapatikana katika maduka ya kuuza pembejeo kwa viwango vya kilo 1 hadi kilo 50. Wakulima ambao wametumia mbolea za Mavuno Fertilizers wamepata ongezeko la mazao yao kwa 30%. Wasiliana nasi leo kwa simu ili kujua mengi kuhusu namna mbolea za mavuno zinavyosaidia kuongeza uzalishaji chakula nchini.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola. Taste the simple joys.
Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful.
news from Molfix. Let's see what they're developing right now.
Molfix pants with anatomic fit technology. New Molfix pants, an invention from babies for babies.
You should also try Molfix.
Nearly 1 in 3 children across Kenya do not have the proper nutrition to grow. But when you buy a bar of Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate, you can help change the story. That's because we will use part of the proceeds to donate milk to less fortunate children across our beautiful country. Let us come together and show the generous spirit that is inside of all of us. Cadbury Dairy Milk. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Devki Steel Mills have provided quality building material with the widest range of associated steel products over the last 3 decades. Look for the Devki mark on a widest selling reinforcement, twisted and TMT rebars, which are KBS certified and have the diamond mark of quality. Devki Steel, Kenya's most trusted steel company.
Welcome back to NTV at ONE, live from home. Always wanted to say that. And we continue with news from Baringo, and residents of Kerio Valley bordering Rimoi National Game Reserve have resolved to build houses on trees in a bid to scare away elephants that destroy their crops. Now, according to the residents, the elephants are messy eaters, basically disruptors, uprooting and scattering everything in their path, hence causing a lot of destruction to their farms. Nuru Abdulaziz has that report.
This is Kerio Valley, an area bordering the Rimoi National Game Reserve. Here, every planting to harvesting season is a nightmare to the residents as they face challenges of elephants destroying crops. As a result, they have decided to use a different method of dealing with the elephants, building huts on trees.
Nyumba hii yenye iko juu ya miti sana sana inasaidia kwa sababu inakupatia usikie sauti ya ndovu ukiwa mbali. Ndio mnaanza kufanya ile inaitwa damage control. Mnaitana wakaji hapa. Wanaume wanapoenda kukaribia penye wako ndio wabuguze. Wamama ndio wanapaki hapa.
Elephants eat up to 450 kgs of food per day. They are messy eaters, uprooting and scattering everything in their path.
Huyu mnyama ni mnyama hatari. Kwa sababu unaweza peleka kupiga pale, ananyamaza ukirudi anakufuata.
The huts, which are constructed on top of high acacia trees, are well thatched such that even if it rains, the farmer is sheltered from rain and cold. This role involves all members of the community to keep vigil.
Sasa tumechunga nyumba kama hii. Tunaishi ndani 4 months tukichunga ndovu sababu ya hii mahindi. Hii ni kama ni tuti. Mwingine anakuja leo ama tukae wote kama masaa machache, alafu watoto tumewacha nyumbani. Tunakuja kupanda hapa, tukisikia sauti ya ndovu, kidogo mwingine anashuka, anaenda kuchunga watoto.
Over 200 farmers living here have constructed huts on top of trees, and they have been doing this for years now.
Hii inachukua changamoto nyingi kwa sababu hapa iko miba. Wakati tunafukuza unadungwa na miba, kesho utembei. Hapa iko nyoka. Usiku mahali unakanyaka iko nyoka, ukikutana naye na kuumiza. So maisha yetu iko hali ya hatari. Upande hii tuko na wanyama wengine wakali kama pisi ambao wanatembea usiku. Usiku hiyo wakati ndovu wanakuja hata wanafuatana naye.
Kerio region in Baringo County is semi-arid, thus food security is a challenge. The residents are now calling upon Kenya Wildlife Service to deploy rangers who will help them protect their crops from destructive and dangerous elephants. Nuru Abdulaziz, NTV.
To environmental concerns, still, if you could call it that, and the World Society for Protection of Animals is warning that factory farming is laying the foundation for another antimicrobial resistance, which would lead to the rise of a superbug. The organization says that the use of antibiotics in factory farming systems has been linked to the antimicrobial resistance that then spreads into the food chain and general environment. Anita Nkonge is on that report.
The unprecedented pandemic that is COVID-19 has shaken the world as we know it. Its surprising emergence has transformed our day-to-day habits from work to socializing. But the World Society for the Protection of Animals is now warning that another superbug could be threatening the world as we know it, the rise of antimicrobial resistance. A report by the organization claims that the use of antibiotics in factory farming is laying the foundation for another health crisis.
When antibiotic is overused, what happens is that it selects out organisms which are resistant. And these resistant organisms then become a problem to public health because they cannot be treated, and if somebody got infected, they would have no recourse to get well.
Antibiotics are primarily used to ensure animals do not get sick or stressed, and according to a report done by the organization, 75% of all antibiotics produced globally are being used in factory farms. A WHO-funded study shows restricting antibiotic use in food-producing animals leads to a reduction in the presence of superbugs in these animals, which in turn is associated with up to 24% lower superbugs in the human population.
Farming needs to look at use of antibiotics to ensure that ultimately we are not having challenges with antibiotic resistance.
A 2020 UN report also found that intensive farming is responsible for more than half of all infectious diseases such as swine flu, bird flu and Nipah virus that have moved between animals and people since 1940. The WHO is also warning that the world risks having organisms resistant to all antibiotics and thus leading to a crisis in which common ailments may become dangerous and perhaps even impossible to treat. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
Earlier in the bulletin, we had a report from Vincent Odor of the Mudurwa Estate residents who stand to be evicted. Well, families living in the deep sea area in Nairobi have been rendered homeless after a fire destroyed their homes on Thursday night. The affected have been left vulnerable, trying to piece together or at least get the remnants of their property, and well-wishers have been streaming in and coming together to support. However, many are advocating for a permanent solution to the housing problem in most of the urban areas in Kenya. Slum life, though the norm in Nairobi, is not ideal as witnessed in the past. Emergency situations are not well handled, leading to death and destruction of property. It may take some time to resettle the families, but the incident should point the government towards prioritizing the improved housing agenda in the President's Legacy Project.
And yet we are still not showing the example that actually we are housing, we are supposed to provide housing, proper housing for our people.
The area can probably put up more than 300 houses if we go high-rise. So we need to make sure that while we have the rich developments going on around the slum area, we should also accommodate the informal settlements by upgrading them. There may be eyesores, but these are Kenyans who are living there, and they have every right to have access to good housing, affordable housing, health care, and water.
And briefly in sports, the Football Kenya Federation county elections have gotten underway earlier today. The FKF Electoral Board has employed input from the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, who will offer technical support in the process. Elections are set to be held in 21 counties where there was opposition. In case of a tie, repeat elections shall be held on Tuesday, September the 22nd. The final county results shall be published on October 1st.
However, we have had a few hitches. For example, last evening, Pumwani Social Hall was cancelled as a venue. We still don't understand how that happened, and so we had to very quickly find an alternative venue for the Nairobi West election. And so Nairobi West election is taking place now at Ligindogo.
He scored a hat-trick, and Leroy Sané scored on his Bayern Munich debut as they opened the new Bundesliga season with an 8-0 demolition of Schalke. Leroy Sané making his debut after a £44.7 million move from Manchester City assisted 2 of Gnabry's goals. Hansi Flick's side have won 22 games in a row. Robert Lewandowski, Leon Goretzka, Thomas Müller and 17-year-old Jamal Musiala scored their other goals. Bayern's record now reads 30 minutes. With Bullseye, and a new series, The Haves and Have-Nots, is playing out on the Kenyan political scene in the name of connecting with the people. Well, the competition is already claiming victims, and amid the tears, some are rewriting the English language. And as Emmanuel Juma reports on Bullseye, it's all about players and prayers. Have yourself a good afternoon. Let me get some lunch as I listen in.
Mr. Chair, I carry a heavy heart with me.
Mama la 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 la, and it will be written, Malala wept, and that is not a small matter.
Ndio unasikia Senator Malala anazunguka dunia hii akisema kuna watu wanamfuata. Hakuna watu wanakufuata, ni ile maovu ambayo umefanya ya kuchukua pesa hapa na pale, hiyo ndio inakufuata.
Clearly the little sweet one sees it as a small matter.
And the most painful thing, Mr. Chair, I see respectable leaders of this republic saying that I forged my arrest, Mr. Chair.
Wengine wanapatiwa microphone wanaanza kulia. Ati nafuatwa. Sasa kama ulienda kukula pesa za watu, alafu unakosa kufanya ile kazi uliambiwa, utafanya namna gani? Si utaanza kuona watu wakikufuata usiku.
Okay, gentlemen, fact is Malala wept, but there is something else.
Vile tulifika kule Kajiado, kuna kitu tulipewa tukakunywa. Sasa sijui kama tulichanganyikiwa kidogo ama nini, lakini hiyo tutasema.
Now, Francis, we know such liquids are available at Ildemat. Did Malala partake of the same?
Maybe in the church where he was saying he was drunk, but here he was not drunk.
Clearly we need prayers. And on that front, the son of Samuel is leading by example. You should try it sometimes, Agwambo.
Even going to the church, that is pretending.
Nikienda kanisani wanalalamika. Sasa, my friends, kwani nyinyi hamuna kazi nyingine ya kufanya?
And there is a new look, Muda. Changes, huh? And depending on where you are, language too can change.
Tamborokia kogoroguru teduto.
Son of Musa.
Numoy.
Now that is communication meant to get to the heart.
He cannot stand during day broad light to communicate. He cannot stand during day broad light to communicate.
That too is communication. Now, there is a new battlefront.
Asla! Hapo! Why should you encourage ones to be a hustler? Huh? This issue of hustling is for stupid people.
Watu wawache madharau. Hawa ambao mnawadharau hawa makanga, hawa wa bodaboda, yule wa kiosk, ndio tutaunda nao serikali 2022.
So when you say, oh, we want a nation of hustlers. To me, hustlers are thieves.
Hawa ambao mnawadharau hawa, chuma chenu kimotoni, my friends.
We will do anything possible to stop you because nia yako ni kudhulumu wa Kenya, my friend.
Pilipili usiosila inakuashia nini?
Clearly, things are hotting up.
William Samoei Ruto will not be part of those who would have been elected 2022.
How dare ask, ulisikia wapi?
I have asked myself, even at night, is William going to be our president? Even my birds in this compound, they tell me no.
Atuoli cannot speak for anyone, cannot speak for any party. In some quarters, they merely refer him as a political house help. He carries gossip from KANU to ODM to Jubilee.
I'm not sure. I'm not saying how sure I am, but I'm sure he cannot win.
Hata hiyo ulisikia wapi?
And it was hot too for the Garissa governor. Someone accused Korane of some ukora. He showed up, but he was not willing to show up, not just yet. Finally, he was ready to show up in kingly style, and they cheered. Never mind that it's their money he's accused of having stolen. Right, Korane?
Governor, hakuna mahali anaingilia kwa kazi ya pesa ya county.
And they cheer. That is as good as it gets.
Whatever is good for goose is good for duck.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Repeat.
Whatever is good for goose is good for duck.
Emmanuel Juma, Bullseye, NTV.